What's good, everybody? It is a very, very late Tuesday night. We are going to look at two-step equations. This is your boy, Mikey Love, and let's get some practice in because the gains are where the practice are at, okay? Now, in order to do two-step equations, you must have already done one-step equations. So please, if you have not mastered one-step equations, go back and look at the video that I put out for those, okay? There's a couple of them. They have lots of practice problems. Take a look at them, okay? Those will show you the way. All right? For now, my music stopped. Hold up, I can't do that. There we go. For now, let's go ahead and give you a refresher on what a one-step equation is first so you can see if you're ready to do this. If you are, great, I'll show you how to do two-step. If not, go back and see the first one, okay? We're going to work plenty of practice problems. If you need help or if you just want to feel better about it, come and see us. You can do it during PE. We're going to pick you up from PE. You can come during elective, just get permission from a teacher, or if your core teacher gives you permission, you can use their pass to come here too, okay? So we want to help you. Come on, bring it on, because it's what we do all day, every day, Monday through Thursday, okay, baby? Let's get it. Now, let's start with an example of a one-step equation. 2x equals 6, okay? Now, for something like this, remember that the object of algebra is to figure out this thing right here, the letter. The letter is called a variable because it represents a number we don't know anything about. Because we don't know anything about it, it could be anything. And because it could be anything, it's always changing. You have no idea. X could be 10, X could be 5, X could be 50. You don't know. X could be anything. Because of that, we have to try to solve for the letter to find out what it is, because it's not proved to be anything until you solve for it. The way you solve equations is by eliminating anything that's not the letter then. So in this case, 2 is not the letter, okay? We got to get rid of 2. We get rid of letters by eliminating them. And we eliminate, get rid of and eliminate mean the same thing. So you eliminate letters by doing you eliminate numbers by doing the opposite of whatever it is. So 2 sitting next to an x means 2 times x. What is the opposite of 2 times? Okay, hopefully you recognize the opposite of 2 times is divided by. So let's divide by 2. And remember the law of math, what you do on one side, you must do to the other. So divide by 2. Some people say, why do you put it on both sides? Because it's got to be fair. You can't just divide this side by 2 and not do it over here. That's not fair. That's not fair. You have an equal sign. And when you have an equal sign, what you're saying is both sides get treated equally. So what you do to one side of an equal sign, this thing here, then you must do it to the other side because you just said that these two things are equal. Thus, you must do the same thing to both sides, okay? So fine. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, so we'll put 1x, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 1 times x is simply just x, so you can put it there. All right? X equals 3. This right here, I assume you know already. If you do not know it, go back to one-step equations. Go backwards. Do that video first. Work the problems in that video first. Then come here and work the 2 steps, okay? All right. So I assume you know all that already. All right, so for 2-step then, it's going to be shockingly easy to you. Watch this. 5x equals 10. Let's solve that real quick. Okay, let's solve that. The opposite of multiplying by 5 is dividing by it. And I'll go ahead and copy it to both sides because we're going to be fair, right? And so we should end up with x equals 10 divided by 5, which is 2, right? The only difference between that and what we call 2-step is simply adding one more thing in there. Now watch this. I'm going to teach you a really easy way to do this. When you're trying to do two-step, what I tell people is, here, let me write this in nice red. Do the plus minus first. Then it looks normal. So let's eliminate the plus first. So you see this plus 5? I'm going to eliminate that first. What do you mean eliminate it, Mike? Remember, we said we eliminate things in math by doing the opposites. What is the opposite of plus 5? Minus 5. And remember, you have an equal sign. You got to be fair. Put it on both sides. Ta-da. Bloop. What are you left with over here? What do you mean left with, Mike? What's left on this side? 5x. Cool. Copy it. What do you mean copy it? You haven't done anything with it yet. Copy it down. You haven't done anything with it. 5 and minus 5 cancel each other out because they make 0. Copy your equal sign because, obviously you can't do anything with an equal sign. And then 10 minus 5 is 5. This looks familiar. This right here is a one-step equation. You already know how to work it. Now you're home free. Get the letter alone. 5x is the same as 5 times x, so you divide by 5, and ta-da, you end up with x equals 1. Got it? Two-step equations are not bad. Just do the plus minus first, and that'll set you free most times, okay? Let's work another one. Now, if that was too fast, rewind the video until you see it. I'm going to work one more slow, and then I'm going to give you a whole bunch to work on your own, okay? All right. Remember, I said there is not much of a difference between a two-step or a one-step. Just do the plus minus first, and you'll be okay. So where is the plus minus in this one? Hopefully you said right here, minus 2. So let's get rid of that first. What's the opposite of minus 2? Plus 2. And make sure that you're fair. Copy it to both sides. There should be no thinking occurring for this step over here. This step is literally just copying whatever happened over here. Do not be thinking about this step. Think here, then just copy it over here. Okay, one of the few times I'm ever going to say to copy something in math. All right, fine. Okay, so blip, cancel that. What's left over here? 2x. And what's 10 plus 2? 12. Oh, this looks familiar. That's a one-step equation, and you know how to work that already. So the opposite of multiplying 2 is copy it. No thinking should be happening in that copy step. And ta-da, x equals 6. Okay, piece of cake. Now you try a couple. If that was too fast, rewind the video. Rewind the video and take a look at it. It's time to work some problems. Let's do 5x plus 7 equals negative 13. Let's do 4x minus 7 equals 37. Let's do negative 5x plus 1 equals 16. And let's do 7 plus 2x equals 27. And let's do 4 plus 6x equals 28. Okay? Let me zoom out so you can see these. Okay, go ahead and pause me and try to work these on your own. Pause me here. Working it on your own is the only way you get strength. Pause so you can work these out and try it for yourself, okay? Okay, if you haven't paused yet, now's a final warning. I'm getting ready to show you to work these. All right, here we go. Remember, we're doing the plus minus first. After that, everything else is fair game, just like normal, one-step equation. If you forgot that and want to try it, go ahead and pause me here so you can try it. All right, here we go. So fine, I'm going to do the plus minus first. Let me go ahead and highlight it. I see a plus 7. Fine, so let me subtract 7 then, because that's the opposite of plus 7. Let me be fair about it and subtract it from both sides. Looks like we're left with 5x equals negative 20. All right, well, let's get this bad boy out the way. Well, what's the opposite of multiplying by 5? Dividing by 5. Let's be fair about it. Do it at both sides. It looks like after you do that, you are left with x equals negative 20 divided by 5, which is negative 4. If you got that, give yourself a pat on the back. That's beautiful work. If not, rewind it so you can see that, and then pause me here so you can try to work the next ones, okay? All right, here we go. Let's scooch these out some more. They're kind of scrunched. All right, great. Okay, for our next one, again, what is the plus minus? Let's go ahead and highlight that. I see a minus 7. Well, what's the opposite of minus 7? Plus 7. And let's be fair about it. Let's put it on both sides. Mike, why are you using opposites? Because remember, we're getting rid of the plus minus first. Then doing the multiplication and division or whatever else we may have second, okay? Boom. Get rid of that. We're left with 4x over here. 37 plus 7 is 44. Okay? And now, let's divide both sides by 4. So we end up with x equals 11. Okay? Beautiful work. Now, before I work this next one, let me be clear. When I tell you guys to do the plus minus first, I'm only talking about when you're working these two-step equations, and I'm only really talking about that to kind of get you through your quizzes, which are coming up very quickly. In fact, most of you will see this on Wednesday. Your quiz is on Thursday if you haven't already taken it. So I want to give you what will help you through now. This do the plus minus first is not talking about PEMDAS, okay? PEMDAS is correct. But I'm not talking about PEMDAS when I'm saying do plus minus first. When I say do plus minus first, I'm talking about get rid of plus minus first. PEMDAS tells you what to add, subtract, or work as an order of operations when you're dealing with just numbers or any operation, okay? What I'm telling you is to get rid of plus minus first as a strategy. This is not the same thing as PEMDAS, okay? So don't confuse those. If none of that made sense, throw it out and just remember that PEMDAS is still a thing, and only do the plus minus first when you're running into these two-step equations, okay? It's a good technique, it works well, but it's not getting rid of PEMDAS, okay? All right, so fine. The opposite of plus 1 is minus 1. And so let's copy it to the other side, shall we? Left with negative 5x equals 16 minus 1, which is 15. And then let's divide both sides by negative 5. Because we got to get rid of that negative 5. And we're left with x equals negative 3. Okay? Great job. Last two, if you have not worked these on your own, go ahead and do that before I come in here. Okay? All right, last two. Let's go after the plus minus. Now, some of you might be like, okay, I'm going to go after the plus minus. Let's subtract 2x. Slow down, cowboy. You're not trying to get rid of 2x because you're not trying to get rid of x. You're trying to get rid of the numbers, remember? You're trying to get x alone. We're trying to get the letters alone. So don't be fooled on this one. Don't go after the plus 2x. Go after the number. Okay? Is it a positive or a negative 7? It's a positive 7. So you're going to subtract 7, because that's the opposite of having 7, and copy it to the other side. These two cancel out, and you're left with a positive 2x. 27 minus 7 is 20. Whoa, Mike, why are you subtracting 7? Because this is positive. The opposite of positive is negative. And you gotta be fair and do it to both sides. Yeah, but what happened to the plus sign? Plus just means positive. Plus 2x. Same thing as just 2x. Okay? If that was too much, come and see me. Okay? Otherwise, let's solve. Let's divide by 2. Because we need to get rid of the 2 in front of the x. Not the x, just the number in front of x. And that leaves us with x equals 10. Okay? Alright, on to the next. If you need to, pause and try this now that you've seen how this works. Okay? Otherwise, here comes the answer. Let's subtract 4 because I see a 4 and we need to get rid of it. Let's go ahead and cancel those out, and we're left with a positive 6x over here equals 28 minus 4, which is 24. And thus, let's get rid of the 6. So let's divide by 6, and let's be fair about it and put it on both sides. Thus, x equals 24 divided by 6, which is 4. Ta-da! All right? That's two-step equations, okay? There are other, quote-unquote harder examples. Let's do one more. Let's do one involving division. But the technique is the same. You're going to get rid of the plus minus first, and then go after everything else. Let's do, sure, okay? Let's work this one together. Pause me if you want to try it first, though. Pause me, okay? All right, other than that, let's do it. Let's go after the minus 10 first. The opposite of minus 10 is plus 10. And let's do that to both sides because we need to be fair. X divided by 3, this cancels out, equals 20. What is the opposite of dividing by 3? Multiplying by 3. So let's do times 3 here, and let's be fair and do it to both sides. Cancel that out. That leaves you with x equals 60. Da-da-da-da. Okay? Now, in the first video on one-step equations, which you can go back and look at, I showed you a way to check your answers to prove that they are correct, to prove that they are true. I will show you it here, but I'm not going to go into depth as I don't want this video to go too long. And it is getting close to midnight, so I'm trying to go to sleep. But if you want to see more of how to check your questions, go to my videos on one-step equations. There's plenty of them, plenty of practice problems. They're pretty lengthy, and you can get everything you need there, okay? Let's take the answer we got for x and put it in the equation. So let's go x divided by 3 minus 10 equals 10. Now, let's put it in there. If x is equal to 60, then I should be able to put 60 anywhere the x is. So I'm going to actually just scribble this out and put 60 in it. What do you mean, Mike? You can't just get rid of that letter. Yeah, you can. You know why? Because you just made a claim. You said that x equals 60. So all I'm doing is I'm putting 60 in instead of x. See it now? Let's work it. So 60 divided by 3 minus 10 should equal 10. What is 60 divided by 3? Somebody put in your calculator. 20. 20 minus 10 equals 10. 10 equals 10. That's a logical statement. Your problem is correct. Anytime you put your answer back in a problem and you get a logical statement, it is correct. If you had said it was something like, let's just make pretend and said, you said that it was 30 divided by 3 minus 10 equals 10 instead. And you put that in your calculator and you got 10 minus 10 equals 10. 0 equals 10. That is not a logical statement. That's not true. 0 doesn't equal 10. So the answer is wrong. This is how you can check your answers. When you put your answer back in the original, it should make a logical statement. If it does not, it is incorrect because math is logical, it is fair, and it does not care who anyone is. It treats teacher and student woman and man, alien and dust pixie the same. Math does not care. So, check your answers. It's a great way to make sure you're right. Okay? All right. That's going to be it for this video. That is really short for me. This thing is 20 minutes, but I need to get ready for bed, y'all. If you need extra practice on this, please come see us. Ask your teacher to put you on the PE list, or you can actually be picked up from PE yourself, or ask your elective teacher for their pass. If you're finished with your core work, all your core teachers have a pass. We're happy to we're happy to help you. Just come up through them doors and we'll give you all the practice you need, okay? 1st through 6th period, Monday through Thursday, what we do all day, every day, baby, okay? Till then, have a good night. Your teacher should give you the link to this video as well as the 1 steps in case you need those as well, okay? That's all I got for you. Y'all have a good night. Insert cool exit here. Your boy Mikey Love is